exactly how I think he's ending the Super Bowl. You already know what it is, guys. It's your boy Lightwalker X back here with another video. Today we're going to be discussing who's popping out at the Super Bowl. Now, I know this has been a long debate about who possibly could come because there's been so much controversy behind this Super Bowl halftime performance. And today we're just going to discuss who I think has more odds of coming out versus others. I created two lists here. One list is the most likely to appear, and then the other list is the least likely to appear. And I got more on the most likely, but pretty much going to go into detail about the odds of each person coming out, whether I feel if they actually have a chance of appearing at this year's halftime show. And to begin off rip, I'm going to say Baby Keem. Now, I know Baby Keem hasn't been outside. Apparently, it was confirmed back early 2024 that he was working on his album, and it was led to believe that he was actually going to drop it in 2024, but then the beef happened. So that clearly got pushed back, and there's kind of theories that Baby Keem is popping back outside this year. And what better way to start the rollout for your album than to appear at the halftime show and perform Family Ties, because it's obviously going to be Family Ties. And I can't think of what better song to perform at the Super Bowl than Family Ties. That place is going to go nuts. And all you need is Keem to come back and do that, because we have to remember the Super Bowl halftime show is only 13 minutes. There's only so much you could do. So we got to be very realistic about who has chances of coming out there. And I think if Baby Keem doesn't come out, that'd be kind of a miss. Yeah, I know he's Kendrick's cousin. You know, the rollout for the album, it will work regardless. I'm sure Kendrick will be featured on it, but I think you need to just pop back out outside on something. And you were at the pop out, but you didn't actually perform, which I thought was a miss too. So if you come back at the Super Bowl, that would be great. And I think Baby Keem will be there to perform Family Ties. Up next, I'm going to say Pharrell. I think Pharrell, obviously being close with Kendrick, producing on pretty much all his albums, and also having producing credits on some of his biggest songs like All Right. I think just having Pharrell out there would be huge. It is the first hip-hop halftime performer. Kendrick is going to be paying homage to hip-hop in general as well. He's not just going to be performing his songs, but I feel like he's going to tell some type of story, and he's going to pay respect to the legends and the people who have made it what it is today. And Pharrell is one of them. You know, Pharrell obviously chose a side, and he's close with Kendrick, and they've been boys for a long time, as well with Pusha T. And I think maybe Pharrell comes out and does All Right to perform with Kendrick. I think that would be pretty cool to see. Up next, I would say all the West Coast features on the GNX album. Now, this one may be a stretch. In a good way, it's nice because those guys will be put on. They'll actually be able to say something that most artists can never say in their life, right? That they performed at the Super Bowl. But then you have to pick and choose who's performing. And I do expect Kendrick to perform TV Off and Hey Now, but I don't know if he has time to perform the full songs. And even if he does the crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious for the TV Off, I don't know if he's going to have Lefty Gunplay come just to do just that part, but maybe he would. I don't know. That would be hilarious, right? It would actually be, this shit's hilarious. Yeah, it would be very funny to see that happen, but I don't know. I think maybe he does just parts of those songs and he may not include them, but there is a chance that they may be featured at the Super Bowl, or maybe some of them will. I doubt that we would see all the West Coast features from the GNX album, but maybe a couple, maybe Dodie, maybe Lefty Gunplay, but we'll have to see, right? Depends how he mixes the songs. After that, I'm going to also say Black Hippie. I think the odds of seeing Schoolboy Q, Ab-Soul, and J-Rock on stage with Kendrick are very high. Q will come and perform Collard Greens with Kendrick. That will go crazy. J-Rock will come and perform Win. That's honestly the perfect song to perform at a Super Bowl. If J-Rock is going to appear, they 100% do that song. There's no way. And Ab-Soul can come in. He can perform a track from his latest album. You know, I was really effing with it, so that would be pretty cool to see. I don't see why they wouldn't have Black Hippie there. I mean, I think they're going to be there regardless, right? They'll definitely be there. But performing that, we don't know, right? So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But I think Black Hippie will definitely make an appearance. If not, then at least a couple of them, maybe Q, maybe J-Rock, if anything, will head up on stage to perform a couple songs as well. Up next, I'm going to say SZA. I think SZA definitely has a great chance of being on stage. Even though she's not a hip-hop artist, SZA is the perfect person to have as a singing act on stage. You have some really good songs with SZA. You have quite a few, Luther and Gloria and 30 by 30. So you could definitely have SZA come up there. I see her probably coming on stage to perform just one song, and it probably would be All the Stars. But who knows? Maybe they could switch it up and do Luther, right? We never know how this is going to go, but I think SZA has a great chance of being on stage we'll have to wait and see, right? Remember, guys, this whole list doesn't mean I think everybody's coming on, but I do think that these people do have a great chance of appearing on stage. Now, a side act that I do highly suspect to see in this Super Bowl is HBCU bands. These bands have been going crazy playing Kendrick songs this whole year. They're doing Not Like Us. They're doing Euphoria. I've seen some of these bands doing Meet the Grams. I couldn't believe it. So the HBCUs, they always go crazy. New Orleans, so it makes sense that you have bands. I think we can definitely see that happen too. And Doechii. I think Doechii actually has a great chance of performing. It is a stretch because I think she will be on the GNX tour as an opener. So I don't know if they're going to just put her in the Super Bowl and then put her on. That may be doing a little too much. But, you never know with these guys. They really could, right? But she does have industry plant allegations, and we don't believe that, obviously. I really F with Doechii. I think she's a wicked rapper, and she's easily up next. But it's not going to help the narrative either. And I think they know not to overdo it. I would say now we're dipping into the territory of the least likely to appear. And Doechii's kind of like in the in-between there. Now, for the first one on the least likely to appear, I'm going to say Future. Now, there was a time back last year, maybe around May or June, I would say, yeah, Future and Kendrick, they definitely gonna perform this song at the Grammys or whatever award show, right? But he performed it alone at the Pop-Out because we know that's a West Coast show. It seems like Drake is kind of cool with Future again. Some of them want to piece it up, or they just don't want any smoke with the West. They're just being very, not neutral, but they're showing more allegiance to Drake. So I don't know if Future would come on stage to perform that. I think you should, because if Kendrick is trying to do an embodiment of hip-hop halftime show, that's kind of like what I think is going to happen. You want to get all aspects, right? And what better person to get than the man that's been killing it in the trap game for the last 10, 12 years is Future, right? You guys have made hits together. Could have Future come and do like that with Kendrick, do like just the chorus, right? And then maybe give Future a 30-second, 40-second interval to do Mask Off or something, because that would go crazy. That could happen, right? That's how you can also incorporate Metro Boomin into the halftime show, because I think that would be pretty cool to have Metro come do the Like That intro. Like that has to be performed. And yeah, he probably will perform it by himself, but if Future comes out and does that, I think that would be crazy, because it's just like all the sides of hip-hop coming together. And you also have the opportunity of doing a pretty good transition with Mask Off or Like That into King's Dead if J-Rock is on stage, because we know that Future, Kendrick, and J-Rock are on that song. That was another hit. That could be another song they all play, and what better place to do it than the Super Bowl, right? So I think you're missing a big opportunity of transitioning 2 to 3 crazy bangers if Future's there, if you don't do that. So I think that actually could happen if Future and J-Rock are both on stage at the Super Bowl. Up next, I'm going to say Lil Wayne. Now, we know that there was a lot of drama between Lil Wayne and Kendrick. Lil Wayne was very, very disgruntled about it, but it seems, right, that he's fine now. But he wished Kendrick the best, but he also said that he won't be in the country for this.
So is there any way last second that you would be asked to make a little appearance with him on stage?
I'm not going to even be in the country.
Okay.
Now, do I think that Lil Wayne has a chance of coming out? There's a slight chance still, right? So it's either that he lied about being away in the country and that he's secretly going to come out, which would be really insane to see, or he actually is going out the country and he won't be there. And I think that is very likely, right? But if he does appear, I see Lil Wayne coming in there. Kendrick will come do his 6 foot, 7 foot freestyle.
Mixing silencers, exercising that trigger strap. Rock with his Metallica competition, no talent, hum in the jungle.
And then Lil Wayne will come in and finish it off with a 6 foot, 7 foot. I don't think they do Mona Lisa because it's not a song that you could perform. But most definitely, if that were to happen, I believe that's how it would play out. Also, next on my least likely is J. Cole. There was also a time where I thought J. Cole could probably perform again with Kendrick, but I don't know what's going on right now, right? In a dream scenario, J. Cole comes out and they piece it up. And I do think they're okay, but they're just not on the terms that they were before. I don't think we ever get to that. If they do get to that, then J. Cole comes out on stage, daps Kendrick up, and he does No Role Models. That would be crazy. Because again, if Kendrick is going the route where he wants to embody hip hop and respect it, he would have these guys come out every now and then and come perform maybe a hit song that they had for like 30 seconds, and then he goes back to his catalog. Because this night is still about Kendrick Lamar, right? And he could most definitely go the route where he doesn't have nobody come out and it's just him, which I do think is also a possibility. He could just say, screw having anybody come out and perform with me. I'm just doing me, right? And that's it. And most definitely that could happen, right? But if there are performers and other people that he is going to bring out, I think some of these people do have a strong chance of coming out versus some of the others. And it may be a long time ago we could see that possibly happening, but I don't know now. In a dream scenario, that could happen. And if it did, I think that would like break the internet, because it'd be like, oh, wow, like they're presenting it up at the Super Bowl. It'd be crazy. Someone else that I feel like is on the least likely to show up, but it's just a little theory of mine, is Nas. Now, I didn't know this, but I just recently found out sometime last year, I think it was around May or June, right after the beef, that Nas and Kendrick actually have the same manager. We obviously know that Kendrick sampled one mic on GNX for Man in the Garden. We see that Nas has been very open about where he stands. He congratulated him to win the Super Bowl. He said, I can't wait to watch the party die. Seems like Nas and Kendrick are on a very similar page right now. And there were rumors that on the actual full-length Kendrick album that he will be releasing this year, Nas is actually supposed to appear on that album. So in my opinion, I wouldn't be surprised if Kendrick is going for the embodiment of hip-hop. I want to, represent the old and the new. I think Nas would probably be the perfect guy to bring on stage. I definitely see that could be a possibility, but very unlikely because we only got 13 minutes. Also, seems like Fox News put out a tweet regarding Kendrick's halftime show asking for 500 dancers to sign up to perform at the halftime show. We can only imagine. We know Kendrick is a very good performer. I mean, the Mr. Morale show and the Damn Tour kind of proves that, but Kendrick really knows how to put on a show, and he's rapping. So incorporating 500 dancers, I think Beyonce had 500 for her halftime show. So it is going to be something similar to that. It's going to be very cool to see how he puts that together, especially since he's rapping. He's not singing or doing any other type of rock music or anything like that. He's rapping. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he incorporates those 500 dancers into the halftime show. So that's kind of what I see happening for the Super Bowl. Essentially, this is my list of people who I think will be popping out. You guys let me know what you think down below. Who do you think is coming outside for the Super Bowl? Do you think it's going to be just Kendrick by himself, or do you think that there will be other acts supporting the performance as well? Let me know your opinions down below. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay blessed and stay tuned.
Tell me, I don't want to talk on no selling. You know I got language barriers. There's no accent you can sell me. You're cold and ivory, you know I'm a selfish. The crown is heavy. I pray they ain't my real friends. If not,